Corbin, did you know that muffins spelled backwards is exactly what you do to them when you take them out of the oven? What? Did you know that muffins spelled backwards is exactly what you do to them when you take them out of the oven? You sniff them. That's muffins spelled backwards. Sniff them.
Indians don't sniff their food.
You should.
Juice!
Hey, welcome back to our Stupid Reactions. I'm Corbin.
Sniff your food.
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter for more juicy content. Thank you, David Sports, Patreon, follow us to Gunsco.
Who was it that recently did that? And I said, yeah, there you go. I pointed it out to Andrani. I don't remember, but anyway, yeah.
What?
I mean, that's part of the process. We've said it before. I mean, it's all connected. Why do you think people, before they take a sip of wine, smell the wine?
Today we have a interview. It's a snippet of an interview with Anupama Chopra.
Interviewing someone or being interviewed herself?
Interviewing. It's a panel, but this is specifically the director of the behind the scenes of what we just did.
Oh, the train.
The train.
Telugu.
This is him.
Got it. The director.
This is a snippet of him talking about an excerpt. This is an excerpt from the interview by her with the political
Vetri
directors of India.
Prominent.
He's known as a political director.
What does that mean?
He did a film that includes
directors that have stories that involved politics.
I guess I don't know. It's just they like to classify a lot of stuff. Like Nawaz, he's a negative actor. Like
I guess
he's a negative character or whatever. So I'm guessing,
well, somebody here that would fall into that category that you don't hear a lot from anymore, but back in the day that would be considered a political director would have been Oliver Stone.
That's true.
All of his films are political statements.
So maybe it's like that.
Gotcha.
But this is him talking specifically about, I think, this film as well. So here we go.
To Film Companion for your film fix, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
From All India Bakcho.
Vetri, in your film, Mr. Nai, about a harrowing film about police brutality.
Wow, I would have liked to know more.
It didn't seem that political.
There's a character who says, the system is all powerful. We are only pawns. Today, it feels like the system's even more powerful. The conversation is so shrill. It's so polarized. How do artists who want to tell political stories function today? What are you all experiencing? Anyone?
No one wants to talk about that.
I would say that
this is him.
My politics is my films. And on a personal level, my problem is to say the story that's more relevant today, because everything today is like, we all are being stifled. So to pick up the right one, which is going to be of the most relevance and which has the most urgency to discuss, I think that's more important. And then making a film that has a political view, a strong view, means we are saying something that the system is not going to like. And it really needs to make a film on those kind. Like it really needs a big support system to do it. You need an investor, you need actors or non-actors, someone to come in and pull this off so that we are able to deliver the film. It's a teamwork, and all of us are unhappy with this whole setup. Like not just the people who want to make films out of the issues. The whole world is unhappy. We have some people voice it, some people don't. I feel that is why all this is happening. We are able to make films, and you guys are able to do this.
Dibakar, you said in an interview that you keep raising your voice and you make calculation about how much personal risk you can take. Vetri, talk about that calculation when you make your films. Asuran is also, all your films deal with corruption, they deal with the privileged and the not privileged, they deal with caste. How do you make this calculation? How do you figure out ki I can say this, but this will be too much?
See, first, to understand the kind of films that I'm allowed to make, you need to understand
Are they near an ocean?
Tamil cinema scenario better. Because unlike any other film space, Tamil cinema has always been part of, it has been used as political tools. Like for the past
I've noticed that.
70, 80 years, it's been used as political tools. And there is a blessing as well as curse for Tamil filmmakers. You don't have parallel movement in Tamil. Whatever you do, you have to do it for the mainstream. So you dilute it to an extent, and then the Tamil mainstream viewers are forced to watch anything that is given to them. Like in terms of, there is no elite viewers, where you just make an art house film, a parallel film that is constrained to a limited viewers, and you have other means of getting back the investment. Everything has to go to the theaters. Like a theater that runs the Rajinikanth film will have to accommodate another film that would in another place be called a parallel film or an art house film. So this is the background in which the Tamil films are being made, and Tamil filmmakers think through this only. And making political statements, especially vote politics, political statements, is very, very prevalent in Tamil, and the audiences have a direct connect to this kind of undertones or whatever. An actor, an actor who might or might not, or whenever he feels like coming or whenever he does not feel like coming, wants to make a statement, and the audiences understand that as a reference to his political entry or the political party that he's going to start. Like any actor who's been acting for 15 years successfully will have an idea of getting into politics, like vote politics. So whether he has it or not, his fans have it. So we just live around that. And the Dravidian movement had got a very strong presence even today in Tamil Nadu because of the effective and efficient use of films as a means of taking their ideology. And that has given a lot of freedom for Tamil filmmakers, and the Tamil viewers are kind of broader. And on a personal level, for me, to start with, I have an actor like Dhanush who is going to back me, so I don't have issues with my investments.
Right.
And then the major challenge I had was with Asura, because it's not just a political film, it's a Dalit film, like where the protagonist is a Dalit, and the protagonist is not a meek protagonist. He stands up for what he feels is right, and he brings down the upper caste people. This was the most challenging thing for me, because we had a lot of while pre-production and while we were shooting, we had a lot of speculations. We were thinking on, we did not want to offend anyone because we are stating facts, and we want everyone to understand the film. And we wanted a Dalit to have a representation within the film, and then a non-Dalit to see that and feel what had happened in the past, like how their parents or their grandparents were responsible for whatever that had happened. And that was the major challenge that we had in doing it. And so that was the reason we refrained from mentioning any specific caste. Of course, we set it up in a particular geographical space where there are certain castes are dominant, but we did not make any specific
You don't
references.
spell it out.
Yeah, we did not make any specific references so that everybody felt responsible for what had happened to the protagonist and his family and whatever that happened. And of course, we had all historical references. Whatever that were shown in the film were incidents that really happened. So that was in the collective unconscious as well, like, and in the memory itself. Like people had it in their memory when they watched the film, and then they took responsibility for it. And I think that was the reason behind the
massive
mainstream,
success.
Yeah, mainstream success of the film.
Yeah.
India has such a unique landscape for political films in general, though.
India does?
India.
You're very unique.
Because, one, I don't know about especially the local politics. I'm not a master in the national politics of India either.
Right.
And so, like, a lot of references in films we will never understand.
No.
Ever. Because we're not there. Like, if you make certain references here, we'd understand. Because obviously we're in the political landscape here and all that kind of stuff. And then there's some political stuff from India that we would pick up on, but it's very minute usually. But the fact that they also have a censor board, especially now, that won't let them say everything they want, probably. And so they have to, and specifically with Tamil, because I've heard it repeated now multiple times that they've never had a parallel cinema. That's been repeated multiple times by multiple different actors and directors now that we've heard. That so everything that they do has to be made for the mainstream, which is super interesting. I don't know, maybe it was Mani Ratnam's fault because he made messaging and he made points in films that were political,
right?
But that was big, and maybe or Kamal Hassan.
I was going to say that's the other contributor.
He's the other one,
yeah.
And maybe there's people before that as well,
sure.
And maybe that's why like it never went to parallel because they were like, no, they're making this into the national media of Tamil cinema. So I find it very unique because it's very different than obviously here.
Very.
A political director can say whatever they want.
Or a documentarian like Michael Moore. They can say anything they want, and not only will the government not interfere
at all,
the government will say nothing.
No. Because
no matter what is being put on film.
Yeah, I mean, and you can have on the whether it's in apology to the government or just flat out lunacy or flat out just propaganda of what was that stupid film that just came out recently that was the sex trafficking one?
Sound of Freedom.
Oh my God.
Who? You know about the that?
Yeah. But like, is it batshit that film? I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. They have every right to make that film and say whatever the fuck they want to say.
Right.
And that's allowed. But it's not the case fully in India.
No, I mean, go to the grand extreme. If the KKK wanted to make a movie about how much they hate everyone who isn't white, they could do it here. And the government wouldn't stop them. And people would protest. People would say that we shouldn't have films propagating hate and propaganda, but the government wouldn't get involved. And it's interesting. It saddens me that the question has to be asked. She asked it. What are the things you have to take into consideration about what you can say and what you can't say? A filmmaker shouldn't ever have to have that consideration. They should just say whatever they want to say, and then let the chips fall where they may. Granted, there are complexities to Indian cinema and Indian politics and Indian culture that we will not only never understand, but because we do not live in India, I think there are many, many times, I've learned this lesson myself, where the West has said something about Indian politics where the West should really just keep their nose out of it.
It's stuff that I don't really try to get into. I just like, what'd you guys think? I ask that all the time. I was like, if we miss stuff, if we need to know stuff, please let me know, because it's all ignorance up here.
No, and for me, it's the line for me when it comes to anything about a political statement, say in a film from India, is there's two criteria for me when I would voice something about it. First and foremost, it's primarily something that's being depicted in film or TV. The other one being it transcends the politic of it and becomes more about the human rights universal aspect of it.
I will always speak up for human rights. For sure.
Everything else tends to fall into divisiveness, even here. But again, you can make a film like Sound of Freedom. You can make a film like
you have every
The
right.
Last Temptation of Christ.
Yep.
You can make a film like Platoon or JFK. Again, Oliver Stone films.
If the terrorists that took down the World Trade Center wanted to make a film, like this is a weird scenario, obviously it wouldn't happen, but if they wanted to make a film about how they were right in knocking down the towers, sure, go right ahead.
Sure.
You're going to lose a lot of money and no one's going to support it.
No one's going to support it
but
because it's universally
sure, if you
not
want
okay.
if you want to make that, go right ahead. I will support your right to do that.
Yeah, but it is.
I will not go see it.
Yeah, and there are challenges that filmmakers do face in India where they recognize multiple things that filmmakers here don't have the constraints of. Is the censor board going to approve this?
Yeah.
Am I going to hurt people's sentiments?
Yeah.
Is that going to make people not see a film that I otherwise want them to film? And is it worth the cost of that for me to do that? Or am I now being not honoring and I'm being hypocritical in my elevation of artistry? It's so much more complex than anything filmmakers have to deal with here.
Yeah.
So much more.
Absolutely insane. Would Mani Ratnam or Kamal Hassan be considered political?
I would say yes. So many of their films
At least partially?
touch upon so many things in that regard and talk about things that are. You know what I think they're brilliant at? They're brilliant at presenting things that are political, but focusing on the human rights element of it, so that you see something and you're left to decide for yourself. They don't. Oliver Stone is preachy. Michael Moore is preachy. I think Kamal Hassan and
This director,
Mani Ratnam and this director,
what we just saw,
yes,
feel preachy at all?
not at all. I think they do a very good job of showing things to people and saying, here's what I see, and based on the lens I'm seeing it through, tell me what you think.
Yeah. I agree. You guys let us know, obviously. Are they actually considered political directors? I know Kamal Hassan's gotten into politics before. Rajnikant's that was a funny thing he said, because it's apparently literally a natural step. Rajnikant did it. There's been rumors that Vijay would do it. Like this, I guess it's just one of the natural steps, I suppose.
Yeah, well,
especially in Tamil, it feels like Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, it kind of goes. There's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason why so many artists are vocal about things politic. They really do go hand in hand. They really should go hand in hand for anybody that cares at all about anything pertaining to humanity.
Well, unfortunately, politics includes human rights, which it shouldn't. It should be universal that,
Right.
we should be kind to people and people should have all their rights.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's political.
No, it is. And it's anytime you have a group of people together anywhere in the world, you're going to have the politics of that group have to be navigated in a way. And that's one of the biggest problems I've seen, especially here in America, is the problem of people no longer learning how to live with each other and recognize that you can't get everything that you want. To now, it's you're on that side and I'm on this side. We're right, you're wrong, and we have to do everything we can to stop you. That's sucky.
I agree.
Yeah.
Anyways, let us know which one, because I know people will give a lot of recommendations for his next films. Obviously, please let us know what his next
very
film should
interested.
be. That one with the noosh looks really good.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it. I thought we had seen the one with the noosh. We haven't. I was thinking about a different film. during the review.
Oh,
we were
okay.
talking about one of those films. I thought we had seen one, but it was not. It was a
not that
different
one.
film.
Yeah.
But let us know down below.